In the early 1960s, two different statues were produced. Both are believed to have been sculpted by Bill Swan, who was doing contract work for Pruitt Fiberglass in Lawndale, California. The first of these giants was a 14-foot tall Paul Bunyan statue, which was a shorter version of the much more well-known 20-foot Paul Bunyans we see today, known as Muffler Men. These shorter versions are a rare find today and were designed to be a cheaper option for businesses, as well as offering simpler shipping options due to the smaller size. The giants were most commonly used by the Lombard Chainsaw Company at retailers to advertise their product. They named the mascot Luke Lombard, or Big Luke Lombard, and he appeared in newspaper ads nationwide. Often during restoration of these giants today, we discover the original Luke Lombard lettering under layers of paint. Around the same time, another statue was sculpted for a little-known Mexican fast food joint called Taco Bell. The statue was of an 8-foot smiling boy with a giant hat pointing out the restaurant. Times changed, and it wasn't long before both statues were discontinued and started to disappear. The Taco Bell boy, by far, is the harder to find these days, so we were very happy when Obnoxious Antiques from New Jersey was able to find us one in October 2020. He was located at a warehouse in Tampa. After purchasing him, he was housed at a nearby residence until I had a chance in early 2021 to wrap him up and transport him to Colorado. Working together with Vintage Roadside, it was decided the Taco Bell boy would be transferred to their collection and eventually needed to find a way to Oregon. In February 2022, we were contacted by the owners of the Cedarwood Saloon, who owned one of the rare 14-foot Bunyans in Grants Pass, Oregon. The statue came with the purchase of the saloon when they purchased it way back in the 1980s. And aside from a few repair jobs, the giant has stood on his sign perch probably since the 70s. It's our guess that he originally advertised for the Lombard chainsaws in the Grants Pass area back in the 60s. The owners were preparing for a new look and a remodel of the saloon, and they were ready to find a new owner for the giant. We helped with the sale and also got the exciting job of hauling and restoring the giant for the new owner. Suddenly, there was an opportunity to get the Taco Bell boy to Oregon and get the Grants Pass Muffler Man to Colorado. And so even though it was February, it was decided to attempt the journey. Welcome to another American Giants adventure. Note to self, do not make a Pacific Coast trip from Denver to Oregon in February. Bad idea. Despite what the weatherman said. I just went through about 20 miles of blizzard. So it's a little better now, thankfully. But don't think I want to do any more winter trips. This isn't fun. Hauling Taco Bell, original Taco Bell boy, out to Oregon. It's going to go into the collection of Vintage Roadside's collection. It's been fun to have. I hate to see it go, but we're carrying it on an open trailer, so that's also tough. I should have got some more video of me like trying to keep this Taco Bell boy strapped down and wrapped with the wind, and it's just been, my hands have been so cold that I just haven't had any energy to film it. But we're going to stop up here in Wendell in about 2 minutes here and check out a Muffler Man right on the side of the interstate. Way too cold to do a video out there, and windy. Last time I was here, it was freezing. This time I'm here, it's freezing. I cannot for the life of me get here in nice weather. It is so cold out there. Wish it was summer, but still a great stop. He's in pretty good shape. Good spot. You know, I like seeing Muffler Men right next to interstates because a lot of people get to see them. Repainted. Nice to meet the owner. They've just owned him like a year or two. So we were talking about Muffler Man stuff, and Yeah, his original pedestal platform down there. I was telling the owner how cool it is that he has that. I said, I know it looks like junk to you, but this is original 1965-66 platform, so you don't see those every day. The Wendell, Utah Cowboy was originally a Phillips 66 Cowboy that was located in Jerome. And like many others, he was used by Phillips 66 at gas stations as a promotional attention getter. When the program ended in the late 60s, many of the Giants simply stayed on, or in some cases they were removed and destroyed, while others were repurposed for other businesses. This one was traded for an RV worth $2,000 and ended up at an RV sales business along Interstate 84. The Giant used to be yellow, and many of you will remember him holding a little red stop sign with a yellow shirt and blue pants. Recently, the business sold to new owners who promptly repainted him. This guy is unique in that he still has an original platform under his feet. Alright, so after a very long trip, I booked it for about 25 hours. Finally arrived at in Oregon, where this guy is going to have a new home with Vintage Roadside. So it's been a good trip. It's been great having the Taco Bell boy for about a year now. And now it's on down south to Grants Pass, and we're going to pick up the Grants Pass Muffler Man. Pushing down the road here, headed to Grants Pass. Very excited about picking up the Grants Pass Bunyan. That's a 14-foot version made by International Fiberglass. Came down yesterday. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it for the takedown, but they sent me some pictures. They used a crane to get them down. These guys are pretty light, so I doubt it was a big deal, but he's been up there a long time. The owners had him. They bought the property that he's on, so he came with the property when they bought it. So he's been there ever since like '85 when they bought it, and probably long before. So it's kind of an end of an era for Grants Pass. It's always sad when these Giants move on, and it's bittersweet, you know, because the community's losing something they had for so many years. But in this case, you know, we're going to get to restore him and some other exciting things in the future with him. This guy's actually going to be loaned by the newer owners to our museum. So that's amazing. I couldn't be happier. Right now we're taking a quick deviation off the interstate here in Albany. And I want to check out a Teen Burger that's down the road here. Been here for a while. Just have a quick pit stop here and check it out. Originally, this guy was part of what we call the A&W Root Beer family, and he, along with the rest of his family, stood on the roofs of America's fast food burger joint to advertise the different kinds of burgers you could get. The Giants were a common sight in the 1960s, and when the program came to an end, you started to see less and less of them. As another winter storm was moving in on the Midwest states, I was in a bit of a hurry when I arrived in Grants Pass, and thankfully, the Giant had been taken down 2 days before and prepared for transport. We just needed to get him moved from their trailer over to mine, and a request for volunteers in the bar produced a handful of very willing patrons to help lift the Giant. The transfer a success, I hit the road for the long haul back to Colorado. A highlight of the trip was stopping in Helper, Utah to see Big John. Big John is a Muffler Man made custom by International Fiberglass back in 1964 for the town of Helper. The Giant has a custom hat, a headlamp, as well as a belt pouch that are all one of a kind. He also is painted all black in honor of the miners in the coal industry, and is often visited by road trippers like myself. The 14-foot Muffler Men are excellent travelers, and so I was able to beat the winter storm and get the Giant safely to Colorado. The next step will be sanding this guy down to the gel coat before hauling him to our shop in Illinois for fiberglass repair and a new paint job. The new owners have graciously agreed to loan him to our new museum going up in 2023 on Route 66. So soon you will be able to view him indoors and fully restored. Hauling and restoring these guys is always an adventure, and this trip was no different. We look forward to sharing more of his journey with you in the coming months.